Hello and welcome to another Doctor Who product review. In today's Doctor Who product review, we'll be looking at the Robert Harrop Mandrel. Now, if you saw my previous Robert Harrop video, what I did, the hunt for Robert Harrop, you would have saw that I got the Silurian. And I mentioned in there that I ordered another Robert Harrop figurine, and it was the Mandrel, and it has finally arrived, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to be honest, I never thought I would review a Mandrel on the channel, so this is the biggest twist of 2018 so far. Now, so one thing I absolutely love about Robert Harrop is that they do more of the obscure Doctor Who monsters. Monsters what we haven't seen, or characters I should say, what we haven't seen done in merchandise before. And the Mandrel, you know, has been done once, I think, before in like the little Harlequin thing, but nothing as greatly detailed as this. You know, Robert Harrop have done a Yeti, a thing what fans have been wanting for so many years, and I would love to have the Robert Harrop Yeti because it just looks like a thing of beauty. They've done a Draconian, a Malice, a Cyber Shade, you know, just to name a few. You know, Alpha Centauri. They've done more of the obscure things what we haven't seen before, and I really commend Robert Harrop for doing that, to do something fresh and exciting and give us some more things what we haven't seen before done in Doctor Who merchandise form. So that's one thing I absolutely love about Robert Harrop. So without further ado, let's look at the packaging for this Mandrel. So when your order arrives, it will come in this nice cardboard box to protect your order, and I've only just noticed that it has my limited edition number there, 172, got the Robert Harrop address there. And because this is a figurine, you want it to be protected, and the people at Robert Harrop have got you covered. So if we just open the box up, just got some bubble wrap there, and you can see the box is nicely packaged there to keep it secure so your figurine doesn't break. So taking a look at the box art, we have the lovely Doctor Who logo there in this sort of off-white colour there. Then we have the nice diamond logo effect there with the product code, with this being release number 27, Mandrel from what the story it's from, and the Doctor. There we have Robert Harrop limited edition hand-painted figurines. Then we have the sort of faded Doctor Who logo there on the back, the Doctor Who logo there, and the Robert Harrop contact details there, and again the side there with this nice sort of starry background sort of seeping on from the cover. And on the top of the box we have my limited edition number there, 172 out of 200. So if you want the Mandrel, I should snap him up quick because of course he's limited to 200. So when you open up the Mandrel, you're greeted with a load of bubble wrap. Obviously I've repackaged him up just to show you what he's like. As you can see, he's packaged in loads of bubble wrap there, and it's more like the Wirrin from the Ark in Space more than the Mandrel. So there he is, nicely wrapped up, protected. So if we just ease him out of the box. So taking the Mandrel out of the packaging, as you can see, you're greeted with a load of bubble wrap, and instead of a Mandrel you're given a Wirrin instead. So if we just slowly unwrap the bubble wrap, you will see the Mandrel inside. I've had to rewrap him because obviously I've unboxed him before, and you remove from the bubble wrap and you get this nice little bag to protect him as well. So he's well protected, so there we go. So the packaging is very well protected, considering this is a figurine. You want it to be, you know, quite well protected. So there we go, the Mandrel is well protected in his packaging. Now before I actually get on to my review of the Mandrel, I must notice this one thing, because normally Robert Harrop figurines come with a certificate of authenticity, you know, with your limited edition number there and a picture of the character you got, and the bio and the story where it's from. My Mandrel didn't come with a certificate of authenticity. I've just checked through all the box and the packaging, and it's nowhere to be seen, so I'll have to contact Robert Harrop about that, because yeah, it's normally a little thing what comes with each figurine to, you know, say that, you know, this is certified that it's limited to 200. So yeah, it's no biggie. I'll just contact Robert Harrop about it, and they should hopefully sort it. So hopefully when you order a Mandrel or any Robert Harrop thing, it should come with its little certificate of authenticity. So yeah, the Mandrel from the Nightmare of Eden, a story what fans isn't really well regarded in fan consensus, but to be honest, I really do enjoy the Nightmare of Eden. I think it's quite a lot of fun, and the Mandrels I just think are great lumbering monsters, and I think that Robert Harrop have done a fantastic job translating this into a figurine. So yeah, because this is a figurine, there is no articulation, so I'll just go straight into detail. Hand paint their figurines, it gives a sort of unique feel to it, because each Mandrel they do is going to be different. So if you do order the Mandrel, yours is probably going to be different to what mine is. So that's quite nice that there's a lot of uniqueness. So taking a look at the head of the Mandrel just looks absolutely beautiful. I love the eyes. The eyes, no pun intended, are really eye-catching. As you can see, the sort of darker green there, and it gets lighter and lighter as we get to the middle to give that illusion that the eyes are glowing. It's just absolutely brilliant. We've got the different scaling detail there, sort of a nice sort of silver wash over there to highlight the different scales by the eye. And then the fur is done really well with sort of different washes to give that sort of sense of depth and texture within it, with this different sort of grey wash and a lighter brown wash to show. But this mandrill has been around for a while. He's got a few grey hairs, this mandrill has, and he just looks absolutely stunning. You can see the sort of, each sort of strand has its own sort of different wash over it to give that sort of texture that, you know, that it's just done really well there. And again, on the top there, we've got this sort of mandrill's got a little bit of a mohawk there, and we've got the nice sort of copper scaling detail there, which will be used on the torso, and the beak, which is done really well with sort of nice sort of bluish grey colour there, and it gets to sort of more brown and the sort of a green tinge there. It's just done really well with the sort of individual sort of strands of fur going out of its mouth. It's just done it really well. Absolutely love that. It's just done really well. I like that a lot. So taking a look at the torso of this figurine, we've got the little individual strands of fur from the mouthpiece still going down there, which is rather nice. We get the more nice scaling detail there, which is done really nice. It has a really nice texture to it when you just put your fingers on it. It's just a real nice texture. And again, it continues that nice sort of copper wash, and we've got a little few flakes of silver on some of the scales there. It's just done extremely well, and that's carried throughout the whole of the body there, even on the arm there. It's just done really well. On the back, you've got a few lighter bits of silver, but it's mostly in that nice sort of coppery bronze colour scheme there. And again, the nice fur detail there with a nice texture again as well. Moving down to the arms are done really well, again continuing that scaling detail there. And we've got this sort of nice sort of rough patch, which kind of almost looks like leather, but it's not. And then we've got the nice sort of fur detail there, and the claws, which are sculpted really nice there, with sort of nice jagged feel to them that the mandrill's been scratching away at the hatch there. It's just done really well with sort of nice detail, that nice sort of ivory colour there. And again, we've got the fur detail there, and that's continued even on the inside of the arm. Moving down to the legs, you can tell that this is a monster from the 70s with the flares. It is absolutely brilliant. Again, a very lovely texture on that as well, with a nice sort of different details between the fur. Then we've got scales, fur scales, so it's a nicely stacked thing there. And again, the detail is done brilliantly. I absolutely
Another thing what I love about
Robert Harrop is the bases. Now that might sound incredibly dull. Why do you like the bases? Well, instead of giving a generic base, Robert Harrop give them sort of a unique base. Whatever character they have done, they will give a base to match that character. So the mandrill has a floor of the Starliner, that sort of nice sort of beige floor there, with a sort of darker beige sort of panelling, tiling detail there. It's just done really well. There we have 27 there, mandrill, 1979 Doctor Who hand painted figurine, limited edition. We have my limited edition number there, 172 out of 200, Robert Harrop. And we have a nice sort of felt base there to stop the mandrill sliding about, so if you put him on his shelf, he's not going to fall off. It does take a little bit of force to push him, because he is quite a heavy figurine. So if I just go on to the size comparison now, so we get the Silurian in, as you can see, the mandrill is a little bit taller, and he's quite wide. He's quite a chunky figurine, and he's quite heavy. There's a bit of weight to him there. And if I just get a 5-inch figure there, so we get the 4th Doctor, you can see he does fit in quite well with the 5-inch figure. So yeah, that's rather nice, because the mandrills were all different shapes and sizes, so I really like that. And another thing I forgot to mention in the detail section is the little indent there where the costume didn't quite fit the actor quite well, so I really like that little bit of attention to detail there. Quite nice, really. So there we go, there's the size comparison there. So if you want a mandrill to go with your 4th Doctor figure, then you can. He looks absolutely brilliant with them. So there we go. So what are my concluding thoughts on the Robert Harrop mandrill? Well, I love him. I think that it's such a beautifully detailed and excellently painted product. It is just absolutely beautiful. I just can't stop looking at it. I just keep on turning him around, looking at different bits, and every time I look at him, I find new bits of detail. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's become one of my new favourite items in my collection. It's just absolutely beautiful. And of course, this being extremely limited, it's probably going to sell out it's very close to selling out, I presume, because obviously this is 172 and obviously this is limited to 200. So if you want to get the mandrill, I suggest you do so. He is priced at £65. I did manage to get this one for £58.50 because I used the Friends of Robert Harrop. I'm not sure if that code still applies, because he has been on order for about 4 weeks now, and I think that's only for newly released products. I'm not exactly sure, you'll have to go and check out that, whether you can get the little bit of discount, because it is absolutely worth it. Even if it was £65, I would still pay it, because I just think that it is an absolutely beautiful thing. And of course, we haven't seen a Mandrel done to this high quality, and it's just a great example of Robert Harrop using the Doctor Who license to their advantage, giving us something what we haven't seen done before and producing it to such a high quality. I absolutely love the Mandrel. The eyes, like I said, are probably my favourite. Just the detailing there, you can see just the different greens, and just very well, and just the textures. It's got a very nice texture with sort of nice scaling detail and the sort of rough bits of fur there. It's just done really well. The sort of individual hair strands painted, giving it the sort of the different washes to give that illusion of depth, is just done extremely well. The sort of different washes on the torso and the scaling to give that sort of aged look to it is just done really well. And sort of the fake leather, sort of, well, how they managed to sort of replicate this sort of fake leather look on a figurine is just utterly stunning. I'm just absolutely in awe with it. I just absolutely love it. So yes, the Mandrel is priced at, I believe, £65. So if you want to get the Mandrel, I urge you get him now, because obviously it is limited to 200, so that's not a lot. 200 worldwide. So if you want to get the Mandrel, I suggest you do so. But if you want to get the Mandrel now, I suggest you do so, because I highly recommend it. If you're a Doctor Who collector, then he's definitely a worthy addition to anyone's collection. It's just absolutely stunning. And like I said, this is Robert Harrop taking the Doctor Who license to their, taking it to their advantage and using it really well, in my opinion. So there we go, that concludes this review. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video, whichever that will be. My next Robert Harrop review will be of the Silurian, and I'll keep you updated whether I get the certificate of authenticity. So thanks very much for watching this review, and I'll see you next time. So thank you very much, and bye bye.